organizer and a local union officer. He was elected president of this local union, Local 667, the largest labor union in the Memphis area, in 2000. Henry Perry is a man of dignity, a man who commands respect. He's an activist, he's an organizer, and above all, he's a Teamster. Brothers and sisters, Henry Perry.
Memphis is the home of several struggles. Historically, we have struggled for human rights, civil rights, and workers' rights. You all know back in 1968 when the sanitation workers were struggling for justice and dignity on their job, Dr. Martin Luther King came here to support them. And he was tragically assassinated during that time. You can learn more about that if you just have a visit while you're here at the Civil Rights Museum. But the struggle didn't end with Dr. King's death. The year he died is the same year that I came home from Vietnam. And I got a job working on the dock. And a year later, I got a full-time job at a trucking company, and that's when I joined the Teamsters Union. I've been a Teamster for 38 years, and over 20 of those years, I have been in the middle of the battle for Teamsters and working people throughout Memphis, Tennessee, and also throughout this nation. I have been an officer of Local 667. I was elected office in 1987. And during that time, I became a volunteer organizer. More than 21 years, I have been involved in organizing through this struggle for dignity and respect for working people all over Memphis and the Mid-South. I have listened to workers talk about their hope for change. And this has been a tragic in some jobs here in Memphis, Tennessee. This is one example that you'll hear, just one of the examples that you will hear about here tonight. Brothers and sisters, just the struggle that we have here in Memphis is a history of struggle for working people, civil rights, and workers' rights here. I also would like to mention a company called Airserve. They filed for the election back last October. It was 1984. And they filed with if I'm correct, with the interest of 80%, and they are still waiting for an election today. Because the company, their employer, is gaming the system just to keep them from earning their rights. All they want is a fair election to make their choice. And that's one of the reasons why we have got to fight to get this Employee Free Choice Act. And we are also here today to support the Shelby County Deputy Sheriff's Association. They have waited. We have some of them here tonight. They have waited patiently for the sheriff to deal fairly with them. All they're struggling for is to reach an agreement. and they're going to stay firm until they get it. Because they're back at the table now, and they're negotiating. So they are together, and that's what we call commitment. And these guys, over a year ago, the sheriff decided he would cut their throat. He stopped taking out there, took them off check off. But they are so committed, they went to their banks and had their own check off to pay their dues and still have it. And we're also here to support the FedEx employees. Got to be some courageous workers to take on this massive corporation who dares to have hope for change. Yeah. Brothers and sisters, let me welcome you to Local 667. Tonight, we here in Memphis know that we want to let you know that the struggle for human rights, the struggle for civil rights, and the struggle for workers' rights goes on. And the Teamsters going to lead the fight.